Hello students, today that we are going to discuss about the line indentation, continuous line and the string literals. In this topic, we are going to discuss three topics. First, that is the line indentations. Compared to other programming language, Python does not provide set of curly brackets to prepare a block of statements. You know very well that block of statements is nothing more than the collection of more than one statements grouped together. When they will be executed, all or none, all the statements will be executed. To prepare a block of statements in Python, it does not require a pair of curly brackets or any other punctuation marks, but it uses the indentation. Indentations means the number of spaces. Number of spaces that are equally aligned will prepare a one block. If we have nested such kinds of blocks, one block inside another block, we must require to follow the same indentation rules. For example, here line indentation. Python provides no braces to indicate blocks of code for class and function definitions or flow control. Means when we will declare class or function or any flow control statement. Any flow control statement means if we will use decision control statement, if, else, looping control statement, for loop, while loop, in which we do not require to use pair of curly brackets, but we will use the number of spaces. Spaces will define a particular block. We know any statement in Python that is a single line statement, but here the space is more important. What the advantage of this? It will increase the readability of program. Compared to the other programming language, what the advantage another? The readability as we have discussed, but at the same time to debug a program when we will use the set of curly bracket, it is necessary to find out the matching parentheses. Here, there is no need for such kind of things. Why? Because all the statements aligned at the same level will define one block. Another, if the statements at the same level all are considered in a single block. Blocks of course are denoted by line indentation. Line indentation means number of spaces. Line indentation which is rigidly enforced. Rigidly enforced means strictly follow the syntax rules for the block of statements. If a single mistake of one space in Python may result in an erroneous program, or it may be result in a syntax error. Further, it gives the freedom for the number of spaces in the indentation. That is a variable, but all statements within the block must be indented the same amount. What it means, how many spaces that we can put for the indentation is variable, depends on the programmer to programmer. If I will use only single blank space, it will be allowed. If I will use tab, it will be also allowed. But all the statements within the single block must be aligned or indented to the same amount. If I am using the one space, the same block statement must be are at the one space. If I am using the tab, all the statement in that block must be indented to the tab. Means it is the variable. For example, we are going to use one example as we have discussed, one if statement that is creating a single block of statement. If true, that is the syntax of the if statement. Here we require the keyword that is if, that all the keywords that you know that are in the small case, then some condition, then the colon. First time that we are using here the if statement, but more about the if statement will be discussed in the decision making and the branching. But here if, then the condition, then colon, we are writing if this condition becomes true, then we execute only a single statement, that is print. In that we have printed that is true. Parallel to if, we have used else, and again colon, we have used that is print false. Here if the condition becomes true, here true means always true, that we have seen, that is it is a keyword that represents the always true condition in Python. So if true, then it will print true. The indentation of print, that is more spaces compared to if, means it is the part of the if statement. Indentation defines the block. Print statement, here only a single print statement is there. If there are multiple statements are there, all must be aligned with the same indentation level as we have written in print. Here if we will say if this condition true, then here print will print only the message that is true. If I have more statement, then again I will have to write here at the below this print statement another statement to be executed. Now same way here we have that is the else, that is if and else both are aligned at the same level, means they are defining the single statement, if else statement. Colon, that is necessary. After else, here same we have used after the true condition, here that is condition, we have written the colon part. Same way here only I have, that is the print statement, the single statement in the block. See, here it is not necessary. This P and this print both are must be aligned, not necessary, but if we align also both these, that will be the good programming style. This will increase the readability of the program. Once you will execute this program, it will generate the output true. Why? Because if here the condition is always true, so the all the statement written in this true block that will be executed. Here only one statement is there, that is the true, so output will be true. In case if I will write here instead of true, if it is false, then condition will become false. All the statements that are written in the else part, that will be executed. If here we have written that is false, output will be false. But only the thing here, if is a decision making based on the condition, it executes the statements. Branching statement also we can call, decision making also we can call, but the only thing that is the indentation. Here we do not require to write curly bracket to prepare a block. Only here it is a single statement, but more than one statements can be indented at the same level, as it is also called the number of spaces in indentation, that is variable. Variable means it varies from programmer to programmer, but the good programming style that allows us to write a good program that uses a tab. In Python programming, make use of the tabs. Excessive use of tab, that is preferred. Why? Because it will just increase the readability of the program. What will happen if I will remove this space? If I will remove this space, what will happen? This print statement and this if statement will be are at the same level, means there is no mean or no statements when the condition becomes true or false, because these two statements are at the same level. Same way, if I will align this print statement at the E of else, then again This will prepare a single block, that is if, print, else and print, and the result, that may be the error news. For example, if I will change minor in this program, what will be the thing here? However, the following block generates an error. As we have discussed, if, print, else, print. Once we will write all the statements in this form, all aligned, indented at the same level, it will prepare one block. Means there is no statement after the condition becomes true to execute. Here, once the condition becomes true, there is no statement to execute. Why? Because regardless of this condition, here all are aligned with this the same level. Means you will get the error expected an indented block. Indented block means all the statements aligned at the same level, and if we want to get the correct output, we must require to use here tab or at least one space, or and also here tab or at least one space. As we have seen in the previous, it is the correct program. So indentation plays a vital role in Python programming. Many programming languages are pre-form languages. Pre-form programming languages means we can type anyhow program, and we whatever the way that we want, and program will be executed. But here it is not true for the Python. In Python, if we will not use the proper indentation and use of the spaces, the result will be in erroneous code. So in Python, all the continuous lines indented with the same number of spaces would form a block. Block means collection of statements. In Python, there may be a single statement, more than one statement. Many situations are there. For example, in looping construct, in decision-making construct, we want to execute block of statements. Block of statements means group of statements, one statement, second statement, third statement, based on the condition. If condition becomes true, or we want to repeatedly execute the same number of statements, we call that is the block, group of statements, statement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But all the statements indented with the same number of spaces, means whether it is space, whether it will be two space, whether it will be of tab, will form a block. So blocking is an important in many situations when we want to repeatedly solve such kind of problems or make decisions, or based on the selection of the particular cases, or when we are defining in class, or when we will write a function. In such situation, we require excessive use of indentation to prepare a statement block. So here, that is the line indentation. Be careful when you will write actual programming. Why? Because it may affect to a logical errors if there is no syntactical error, and you might get the wrong answers. Or if you are using if else like construct, and if you are writing in the same without space, the result may be erroneous, because if regardless of any condition, the second statement will be executed. But what about the else? There is no else without if statements, and if is already completed. So here, when you are using if else like statement, proper indentation and spaces must be used. Now we are going to discuss the second point, that is the multi-line statements. May be possible if there is a small character statement. Small character statements means if there is a smaller statement that can be fit in a single line, then there will be no any kind of problem. But whenever it's solving actual problem or writing actual program, there may be cases in which one statement may be expanded into more than one lines. For example, if we have an expression that contains as many number of variables and number of operations that to be performed, in such situation our statement is not be possible to write in a single statement. So what the solution? In such situation, we must require to use multi-line statement. Multi-line statement, if you want to denote, then we use here, that is the backslash character, that is a line continuous character. For example, if you want to print one string, one message that is expanded in more than one lines, in such situation, if you will directly write, the result may be in erroneous. But in this situation, we must require to use backslash character at the end of each line to denote. It means this line is continue for the next line and it is a single statement. So multi-line statements in Python typically end with a new line. Python does, however, allow the use of the line continuous character backslash to denote that the line should continue. Statement in Python typically end with a new line. What it means? Once we will press enter key, new line character, at that time the statement is ended, completed, means that statement is completed once we will press enter key, but automatically. But the use of line continuous character to denote that the line should continue, we want to continue that line for our statement. Once we will have to see one example for this, and it is possible, if you want to write to get the sum of numbers, that is sum equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3, all that is the answer, that is the 6. But if I want to write in different lines each such 1 plus 2 plus in a separate line, directly it is not possible. It is not free form programming language. If you can try for the same statement in other programming language, you do not require to use such kinds of backslash, but in Python you must have to use backslash character. For example, sum equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. Here this character backslash at the end of first line, then the backslash at the end line, denotes this is a continuous statement, means sum equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. Here there is no backslash. Why? Because it is not continuous. Once we will press enter and when we will read here at the print, the sum equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 is already terminated. It is ended. So the scope of this statement, that is up to 3. Why? Because we are pressing the enter key at the end of the 3. But here sum equal to 1 plus, here 2 plus, here 3. It denotes that is the continuous of our sum equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 statement. And then after we are printing here, that is the print sum. Obviously the result will be 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. Try yourself. Whenever you are writing, you must require to experiment with the programming language construct and you require to check whether it is working or not. If we will remove without use of this slash, error will be there, invalid syntax. If I will remove this slash and this slash, Python can't understand sum equal to 1 plus, and once I will press enter key, what it means, there is a syntax error. Why? Because it is an invalid expression. 1 plus, what it means, same way here also 2 plus, there is no meaning of this 2 plus. Here 3, that is meaning, but here we will get the 2 erroneous syntax for 1 plus what, that it is not able to understand. 2 plus what, it can't understand, so it will be error, invalid syntax. And for the correct execution of this program, we must require to use line continuous character, that is backslash. It can also be used here also for string also. For example, if I will use string that is expanded is more than one line, so I can use string equal to str1, whatever variable that you require, equal to write semester 5 Python programming. All are at the separate, starting with the double quotes and ended with this backslash character, and then after you can print string. The result will be as whatever we have written in the single or double quotes. And that are our next topic that we are going to discuss, that is the string literals. String literals, that is the string constants. Next, some of the cases in which this backslash character does not require. Which are these cases? For example, whatever we will encode in between the pair of or enclose between the pair of the square bracket, curly bracket or the parentheses, we do not require to use of this backslash character. For example, statement return contained within this pair of square bracket, pair of curly bracket or parentheses brackets do not need to use the line continuous character. It will be treated as automatically as a part of the square bracket or this curly bracket or parentheses. For example, if I will use days equal to Monday quoted in the single quote, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Here it is expanded in two lines and we do not require to use here the backslash character constant. Why? Because they are written in a pair of square bracket. See the advantage here. If I will write here print days, what the days data type, that we will have to discuss later on the data types when we are going to discuss, but only remember it is similar to an array, but we do not require to give each and every size for this type. All this will be automatically taken by the Python. After this, if I will print days, it will display all the days, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, enclosed in a square bracket. So print days will display all the days. If I want to print individual days, so here print days 1 will display Tuesday. Why? Because array index begins from 0. So here Monday will be 0, here 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, index for Friday, that is 4. So print days 1 will display Tuesday as index begins from 0 in Python. First, that is the 0, days 0 will be Monday. But only the difference that we will have to understand here, that is we have not used here at the end of this Thursday backslash character. As we have seen, here we require to use backslash character at the end, line continuous. Same way here it is the line expanded here in more than two lines, one statement more than two lines, but we do not use here because the content of statement that we have written in pair of square bracket. Same way, if we will use curly bracket or if we will use parentheses, we do not require to use here the backslash character at the end of the statement. Now, string literals that we are going to discuss. String means whatever we will write, collection of characters, whatever we will write in a single quote or double quote, that we call, that is the string literals or string constant, whose value cannot be changed here, fixed, that we are giving into the double quotes. Same way, if we will use in numerical 1, 2, 3, then these are the numerical constant. Here we want to discuss about the string constants. String constants enclosed in a pair of same type of, you know very well, here we have used, that is the single quote, but it can be used same way by using of the double quote. If you want to store name, addresses, in such situation we will have to use string literals. For example, Python accepts single quote, double quotes and triple quotes to denote string literals. String literals means the constant to represent name, address that we discussed. We can use the single quote or double quote or triple quote. as the same type of quote starts and ends the string, means the beginning and the ending character must be of the same. Means if we will use the single quote, we will have to terminate with the single quote. If we will start with the double quote, we will have to terminate with the double quote. Or if we will use with the triple quote, we will have to terminate with the triple quotes. Triple quotes are used to span the string across multiple lines. Same way, if we will use to represent paragraph-like statements, more than one statement, in such situation, triple quotes we can use. Generally, there is we can use either the single quotes or double quotes, whatever we will require. But triple quotes is used to span the string across multiple lines, means statements residing in for the more than one line. For example, here one example that we have seen here, we have used a single quote to represent word. Here sentence, this is a sentence we have used here for the double quote, and paragraph we have used here the triple quote. This is a paragraph. It is made up of multiple lines and statements. We must have to terminate it with the triple quote. Once we will print here, print word, print sentence, print paragraph. Here print word will display word what we have enclosed in this single quote. Print sentence, it will print this is a sentence that we have enclosed in the double quote, and print paragraph. Here it will print, see here I have put one space also. So in output also you will see the one space also, and then it will display this is a paragraph. It is made up of multiple lines and sentences. As we have discussed, if we will make any modification in this, for example, if I will use here single quote and ending with the double quote, it will be resulted into error. Same way, if you started here with double quote and if I will end with the single quote, the result will be ended with the syntax error. Same way, here we have used triple quotes, we must have to use terminating as the triple quotes. Further, it is possible we can use here at the end of this string backslash character. Backslash character means line continuous character, but here it is not necessary. Why? Because it is written as a part of the double quotes, triple quotes. We can use or expand it the same way. It is continuous statement, but for the further readability, clarity of the program, we should use here backslash character. So it means it is the continuous line. It is not terminating. So whenever we are using string, the result will be the same. As we have seen, the same output that we have seen, same result will be there, but it should be used as terminating your backslash character. So it means it is the continuous line. So in this lecture, we have seen three things: line indentation to prepare a block, all the statements with the same indentation level prepares one block. Blocks must be indented. All the statements in the blocks must be indented at the same space value. Either it may be 1, 2 or step. Variable number of spaces can be used. Means depends on the programmer, but it is suggested we should use the tab key. That is the indentation. That it will prepare a block. Second, that we have discussed, that is about line continuous character backslash, and whenever the statement expanded in more than one line, we will use the backslash character, as we have seen with different examples, to make a complete statement. But whenever we will use enter key, Python determines it is the end of the statement. And last we have seen it is the string literals, means the string that is enclosed in single quote, double quote or triple quote. Triple quote means to expand the paragraph more than one statement in a string. So okay, I think that is all. This will be cleared. Thank you very much.